Underdog Daily with the Patch Bros, Jon and Nez, hanging out. Black Nail Dog app, platform of the people here. Underdog Fantasy and BOOST-ober. BOOST-ober rolls on here. We are cooking in the streets. Unfortunately, didn't get the core home this week, but the things will change. We made up for it in the midweek there with the core. Couple notes for the week here ahead. Nez, we got Best Puck Classic filling up fast. I think we're at like 78%. I did one of them this morning there. Puck starts tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern. So there's going to be a daily slate for that, and there's going to be the Best Puck Classic, of course. So get in there while it's good right there. I'm going to try and fire something up for the people. We got something going on after this today, but yeah, I'll try and fire something up for the people either tomorrow morning or a pre-record this evening. May or may not be members only. We'll decide between the two of us there, but just thoughts on that. And then, yeah, man, we got more community winners this week. We got 3 winner circle guests rolling through today. Great times in the football streets.
Yeah, love seeing community members get home, especially when they sweep the podium. So that's great to see, man. Excited to talk with our guests today about all that. It's gonna be fun, man. Gonna be fun. It was a fun week, man. It was a fun week. I classic evergreen statement for me, just like close but no cigar. But I mean, honestly, like I'll take it. I can be patient. I can live with this because I feel like I'm all over it, week after week. So yeah, I'm just gonna be patient. So I'm gonna celebrate others today.
Yeah, it's coming, buddy. It's coming. Yeah, directionally accurate there. You were telling us behind closed doors that you were a Tony Pollard rush or 2 away on that last drive from being a Dawg Bowl participant yourself.
Yeah, they smartly didn't score the touchdown and just kind of like wasted clock. But if they had just like went for it, we would have had one less winner circle guess. But I would have been on there.
Oh man, that's pain because the end of that ball game was so weird. Just the fact that the Titans even got back into that ball game and the way it all set up, and then for the Titans to do the intelligent thing from the coaching standpoint after Arizona pissed down their own legs for a quarter and a half was unfortunate for you. Nez, we also had a Dawg Bowl pick'em winner over the weekend here. We could start there, and then we'll do the winner circles, and then do the community winners. But just wanted to highlight this one briefly here. There you go. If you guys are not in here, obviously fill out the form, and then the token just appears in your account. I have never had to refill out the form since week 2 now, since they switched things up there. But the thesis reigns true here, man. Only a 22.2 Xer was needed to get this thing home. Pretty crazy there. But the thesis was, hey, as soon as these slates condense, as soon as we get into 10 games instead of 12, 13 on the main slate and stuff, that maybe we'd see the pendulum swing back to just having to hit. When other people were going a little too gal brain, chasing the 80s and 90s, that sort of thing. I put a 38 Xer together, so even I shot a little too high there and didn't get it home. What did you play this week for the Dawg Bowl pick'em, Nez?
I played a crazy one. I wasn't necessarily close. I was like over 100x though. Which
you were moon shooting.
Oh yeah, yeah. I thought with the volume coming into this to the contest that was the new norm. I didn't think we would see 22x anything close ever again for this. But yeah, it appears that all you have to do is just hope that everybody else fails and you have a pretty good shot. So
right.
All right.
Yeah. Just win, baby. Just win. Speaking of winning here, Nez, should we get the big graphics up here and ready for our first guest? You guys probably know him and love him already. You guys see him in the chat all the time there, but also been streaming on his own accord. He was live this morning already for the Wake Up Best Ball there. So let's bring in our first guest here, Nez. You ready?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
All right. 1. Actually, I like counting down the other way. 3, 2, 1. Here we go.
Whoa.
Yeah, there we go.
Let's
Production
go.
value. The production value keeps getting better. Chad Gandos, welcome to the program, my friend. Congratulations on the Dawg Bowl seat, bro.
Hey, thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate y'all having me on. And again, I mean, let me just start by saying thank you. I'm a masterclass alumni, and I'm just so happy to have gotten home and, you know, be able to represent you all in a positive way instead of just like people tuning in and being like, oh my God, not great. Not great. So we got there. Appreciate it. Really appreciate you too. So thank you.
Oh man, mad respect, mad respect. We normally start at the top of the leaderboard and work our way down. Today we're starting at the bottom of the leaderboard. No offense here, just a couple fractions of fantasy points here. But walk us through the sweat, because this truly was fractions upon fractions of fantasy points. How was your Sunday?
It was miserable. It was so miserable. And like literally the 1 p.m. games ended and I had the team in first and in third. And I knew the team in third was like no hope. I was like, because it was also done. So I'm like, okay, that you know, we're not getting 2 seats. Like that's ridiculous. But it's horrible fading everything. Like every single catch is bad. A touchdown is a nightmare. And then I think with about like, it was like the fourth quarter began and I'm like, I think this is going to hold. Like not much is going on. And then like Igbuka, like the Igbuka Mayfield combo just started nuking. I'm like, oh my God, this is Armageddon. And you know, at the very end, I was fading Nez's team. I knew was coming with Pollard. There was a team with Marvin Harrison. There was a team with QJ. There was a team with Ladd. And like, if any of them do anything, I'm cooked. And somehow, like, there was the safety, which was ridiculous. The Chargers put in like Tyrod Taylor and started throwing it to Conklin. Like, it could not have broken any more perfectly for me. I got very lucky. Like, my wife got home like slightly before this and I'm like being really squirrely. I'm like, I got to tell you, like, probably not going to hold, but I'm really hoping it does. And then with like 5 minutes left, I was like, it's not going to hold. Like, cause I knew what I was up against. And so I had like resigned myself to it. And then it ended. I'm like, wait, like it held? Like what? So super lucky. I feel I'm gutted for the player below me that was 0.1 off, because as the 1 p.m. games were ending, like we were in first and second, like going kind of back and forth. And then when they went final, I was like, oh man, that could be huge, because, you know, it's like a buffer. Like you don't want anyone above you because, you know, we were going to be done. So I knew there was a chance that what happened to him happened. So I feel horrible for him. So, but I'm thrilled to have gotten there.
Another fellow Deposit Kingdom member here, the Usin, I guess you say it, Usin, misses out on the seat by 0.1 fantasy points there. Yeah, that was that's a heartbreaker there. Let's talk about the lineup, dude. Let's talk about you know, what went into it, how many entries went into it for you there. This was you know, I'm not going to say this lineup was chalky, but it was heavily owned, and you were just happened to be the guy who got to said combo. Do you remember, you know, when you drafted this and whether these were targets of yours?
Yeah, so it's interesting. This must have been on like, so first of all, I had 45 in, which is around what I've been playing each week. So it's been tough. That's, you know, that's a lot to be firing and not getting home. So I'm thrilled to have gotten there. This must have been on like Wednesday, because I drafted Dowdle at 72. So it must have been when Chuba first appeared on the injury report, because he wasn't a swap. I actually drafted him I had the first pick, and so he was my last pick. Mm-hmm. So I started thinking, well, you know, I might be able to build a super team, which like I would have had if I hadn't have taken Jacoby Myers, who like anybody but him, and I like waltz into the Dawg Bowl. Instead, it was like the sweatiest of sweat. Mm-hmm. I will say Waddle was a bit of a target, you know, being the only man left there. The Dak Fergie stack, I think I don't want to say I luck boxed into it, but it was sort of like I think that was a natural pairing at the turn where I took them. And it just made sense as like a kind of a stack. And then again,
a lot of people that 101 turn this week were doing the Herbert plus receiver or doing Dak plus what was available, usually just Ferg.
Yeah, exactly. It's interesting because I'm never big on like the QB tight end stack. It always feels like slightly thin, but I feel like the meta is shifting. There's like a lot of unstacked QB grumblings, I feel like. And it's like, well, if you can get through with an unstacked QB, like a tight end QB is, functionally the equivalent, or like, I don't know. I was just like, well, this isn't the end of the world. There's no, there's no Lamb this week. Ferguson's been, such a target hog.
Yep.
That's where I got there. And obviously Jonathan Taylor was the 101. So the lineup kind of fell into place. Jacoby Myers, though, man, so brutal. 5
It broke so right, though. Like, if you just looked at this lineup on paper before the games started, this lineup was beautifully constructed because you had a little bit of that game correlation. Then you end up getting no Brock Bowers. So like this would have had a nice big projection ceiling boost. So in chasing CLV, you did find it, like, in terms of projection, and then it came to fruition for you, man. This is really sharp, really well done. I love the adage, like we talk so much, Nez, about the value of Q tags and, the phrase that we say all the time, staying on the clock and stuff like that. The other angle to it is, potentially setting yourself up for a super team early in the week by when people were drafting Bucky, taking Rachaad White late, or when people were taking Chuba, taking Rico late. Yeah, just thoughts on the macro dynamic of that, Nez.
Yeah, I mean, it's why, if your goal, if you're very serious about winning a seat, you kind of have to be hitting all of these windows within the week and being a hawk for news and understanding that Chuba was truly trending in the wrong direction. And so like that just made the spot, obviously, for Rico so nutted against the Dolphins. And, we just could confidently project him for a ton of work. And he projected really well once we got that news. So the Rico pick late was just like super, super sharp. And this was one of those weeks, man, that you just like, I mean, I said it to you, John, with the Rachaad White example early on, that like you really had to be tapped in and, scooping these values, because like a pick 72 Rico, man, like, like that was so crucial, even with Jacoby Myers, expected fantasy points of 20 here, giving you 5. It still mattered a ton. Chad, just like super sick to see you get home. I know you draft these like in the morning. You really fill a really great spot in the streaming ecosystem by giving us those morning streams. So you getting home, man, is just super, super, super sick, man. This is an awesome lineup. I had a ton of Jacoby as well, but for some reason I didn't win. I don't know why.
No, I really appreciate you saying that. And yeah, no, I mean, and I like doing those morning streams, and I like taking notes of what like sharper players like yourself are doing. Like I've definitely stolen late round clicks from you, and it's been good. I'm sorry. I mean, it's like, eyes on your own paper, but I'm there like,
I for sure do it too, man.
I mean, it's, but
that's great, man. Chad, I'm going to drop your YouTube in the chat for everyone there. For those who aren't aware, his morning streams are available there. And you did do one of them this morning talking about this lineup and talking about that the upcoming slate, that sort of deal there. Yeah, man, awesome to see you spin up a not a one-trick pony here, spinning up a Battle Royale win last season into the Dawg Bowl streets this season. Has that kind of expanded your bankroll a little bit, allowed you to, take some more shots at this? You're saying 45 a week. Are you going to continue to fire here for a second seat?
Yeah, it's funny. It's a great question. I'm going to keep doing it, but I'll probably limit it to mostly the ones I do on stream. So I'll probably go down to about 20, because it is expensive. And for me, it was really about like the opportunity to go versus like needing multiple bullets there. So I'll still be streaming them. I can't say I'm not going to do some off stream, because I actually really enjoy the 12-person drafts. I think they're so fun. The rooms are so sharp. They're like such a good thought exercise. Sometimes if you do dozens and dozens of the 6-person ones, it can sometimes feel like, okay, I'm in the 6 hole. I take these 2 guys. Like it can feel a little repetitive as much as you scroll, as much as you try to build different combos. But the 12-person ones, it's always like, there's like mini sweats in there. Like, oh, there's one running back I want. Like, please come to me. Like, please take a receiver. And then like, there's like a lot of like, whereas when the 6-person, if you get sniped, it's like, all right, whatever. I'll take this other guy that's, you would kill for in the 12-persons. Right. Just like, going undrafted. So I really do like the 12-persons. I'm still going to do it, but probably do about half, like, 20, 25 each week.
Right on, man. Yeah. Best of luck pushing for another seat here. Continue on with the streaming stuff, man. A lot of people are enjoying it. I love tapping in when I can. Great stuff, bro. Mad respect to your game out here, taking down these slates, and look forward to hanging out in Kansas City.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for the kind words and for having me on.
Thanks, Chad.
Thanks, Chad. You're the man. Shout out Chad Candles, man.
Nez, let's keep pushing forward here. Unreal stuff from Chad there, but we got to keep working our way up the leaderboard here. A recurring guest for both these next two slots, but a recurring guest, a friend of the show here in our guy. Let's just get him on here and see what he's got to say for himself. What do you think?
All right, let's bring him on.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Oh, he went completely. Nez is not paying attention to the flow.
You said recurring guest.
They're both recurring guests.
ChrisGeeeee has never been on the show, bro.
Oh, buddy, Chris has been on multiple times. He'll tell you. We were working our way up.
Oh my god, dude! You completely set that up to be Alec.
No. I literally have ChrisGeeee's lineup on the screen.
I can't see that little ass window, dude. Unbelievable choice of words. Hello, Alec. Great to see you again.
Okay, great to see you guys again.
Let's give Alec back in the circle here. We got to give him some more love than that.
I was as shocked as you were, bro.
Good, clean fun. Yeah, Alec, you were shocked too, right?
Yes, I was. To be fair,
Mondays,
I
man.
had your screen full, so I saw Chris's full lineup, and you were saying you were working your way up, but I'm happy to jump Chris for a second.
That's great, dude. Oh, man. Welcome back to the program. Best Ball, Alec, a.k.a. FantasyGrinder. Dude, having a hell of a year, man. Hell of a year. Battle Royale champion there. You told us the sweet stories about sweating these games alongside your dad there, and now you come through Dawg Bowl champion, and we're going to be seeing you in Kansas City, man. How's it feel to be one of the best players on the platform right now?
I appreciate it, John. It's unreal. I was still processing the Battle Royale win, if we're going to be honest. It was only 14 days ago, so this is an insane 2 weeks. I haven't even written about it on the Substack that I call Victory Laps, so it's like, if I haven't even got into that yet, now we have 2 things to be victory lapping, so I'm super pumped, dude.
Oh, that's great, man. That's dude, this is just an incredible run that you're on right now. What has changed for you since the Battle Royale win to now be putting, did you end up putting in more bullets in the Dawg Bowl? Have you been kind of taking stuff more seriously now that you got the confidence of a win under your belt? How things changed for you last 14 days?
Definitely pumped up the volume a little bit, but stayed where I told you guys I would be at. Last week I was at 8 Dawg Bowls. This week was 9, and this was the first one I drafted. So it was early in the week, got sniped essentially on the double Baker stack and wanted to do Baker doubles in the Dawg Bowl, and instead it turned into Darnold doubles. That was the only way to tell the story still, because I got this Egbuka slide in the 3rd round where he went at pick 30 in this draft for whatever the reason, and I wasn't huge on him to begin with, just figure regression candidate based on how many TDs he's getting, but if he's across from JSN here, makes a lot of sense. Let's just roll with it. And the rest is history.
Wow, dude. Well done there, man. That's sick. I'm trying to remember here throughout the week. Egbuka never popped up on the injury report, did he? I was just trying to think about why that slide would have occurred, because we had the Bucky Irving Q tag. Oh, you know why it might have occurred? Q tag on Baker. You guys remember midweek Q tag on Baker?
Yeah.
What day was this drafted? Do you remember?
So it was either Tuesday night or Wednesday morning. I saved all of my boards except for the first one I did this one. So I'm not sure the date.
Okay. I was going to say, because projections definitely thought that ADP was coming in hot on Egbuka. So you could have been in a type of room where people were anticipating that for whatever reason. Yeah, that's very interesting. But obviously smashed and just continues to run hot as hell. I loved this game. I was right with you, man. I loved this game. Seattle and Tampa. I was trying to get a ton of it. Had Baker doubles in my, in my targets and my sites as well. So yeah, it made a lot of sense. And this was a hell of a game. Super awesome game. Sure, it made for a great sweat.
Yeah, I mean, for the Battle Royale, I was very intentional about not watching. This time I was at the movies and came out to being in 25th place, and I was like, holy shit, there's a sweat here. So we were casually shopping through Trader Joe's and Target, picking up cheeses and such, and I'm like, am I climbing up this fucking leaderboard? Oh my God. And every few minutes, I just kept on tuning into this game and seeing, the fireworks go off. Rico Dowdle as well. This was obviously Chuba in the second. And I didn't save the board. So I was tweaking a little bit that the Bucky drafter had priority on me. And then my only other swap because of 3 running backs, I guess, would have been DeMarcado. But once again, everything lined up super fucking well with this team.
Nice, dude. Unreal stuff there. Yeah, the value in the swappability for the Q tags there and getting to a good play. And then the value in the scroll the F downs, man. Like the Sam Darnold side of the stuff Nez was talking about, how much better on Friday's show, talking about how much better he's been than the perception of him has been. Maybe the same could be said a little bit with Cooper Kupp there. Had a really nice first half in this game and was taking up that volume. The 8.9 points at 23% owned. You just saw Chad's lineup. He has 100% owned Jacoby Myers in there with 5 points, and you get 8.9 from a scroll the F down. That's only 23% owned. So just that little bit of wrinkle of leverage, maybe it's not a direct 1v1, but it just shows you like the contrarian path nature of this when you pair a 40 and a 23 with some other 100% owns.
Yeah, you don't feel well after doing something like this, quite honestly. But
right.
To your point, John, is that last week on Off It On the Clock, I remember Pete asking if you liked the Josh Allen slide, and you were like, "Not really. I wanted to impress everyone with the Joe Flacco doubles."
Right.
And with this, I had in the 4th round the option of taking Godwin, and I was like, "Let's get at least one Lion in this draft," and that was kind of the thing that Dave was pushing on Neil Orfield's channel of like a Lion in each draft felt like a good rule of thumb. And luckily going Laporta instead of Godwin just opened me up. Like getting sniped on the stack was a blessing in disguise. And we see that all the time. We've seen BBN winners come from that. So this was just another huge example of that. I knew that no one else would have it. So as soon as I saw I had a shot, I was like, let's go. But ultimately didn't see any game yesterday and just lucked the hell out. I saw Chase was going off at the end, which kind of freaked me out in the subway, not getting reception. I'm like, someone must have Chase behind, but fingers crossed, nothing changed, man.
I love the most level-headed sweats we've had this season. Are you 2 times there? Not even watching the games, like hashtag smelling the roses. What movie did you go see?
Yeah, I saw one battle after another.
Oh yeah, thoughts?
Well worth the watch. Yeah, walked out. Was like, holy shit, Sean Penn's performance was fucking awesome. Then looked at the phone, saw that there was $100 in the Dawg Bowl at the time. I was like, $100 in the Dawg Bowl is a lot. Where am I?
Right on.
So it was a fucking awesome ride.
Nothing goes hand in hand quite like Sean Penn performances and Dawg Bowl sweats. Oh man, this is great. You're a bit of a baseball guy there too. You obviously, Yankees in a tough spot right now. Are we losing faith right now, or are we holding the line?
Line a little bit. I'm not going to overreact too much, but yeah, it's been a pretty phenomenal offensive showing from the Blue Jays to start. And I know in the small contests that are taking place right now, the Frozen Rope and the few others that the Blue Jays contrarian stuff, you'll see 30% owned Alejandro Kirk at the top of those lineups. And once again, that helps me think through the different game trees and the different angles that you could take on it. Because to start this series, I certainly wasn't going to Alejandro Kirk.
Yeah, well said, man. Yeah, really well said. Nez, anything else for our guy, Best Ball Alec, reappearing on the program?
No, I mean, are you gonna? What's the plan moving forward for Dawg Bowl? I mean, you gonna keep it like nice and cool, or you gonna ramp things up a little bit?
It's really hard to say how much I'll ramp it up. I don't want to go chasing too much, but it definitely seems like there are green lights to try to get another seat. I know last year on low volume, Dark Sheep was able to get two tickets, and that was based on this and Mathology too. He got there on a double stack as well. So I know double stacking at low volume is a nice way to play the game. I don't know how much I'll extend, but maybe I'll pump it up to 15, something like that. These drafts are super fun. Chad is right. I think I prefer these as well. I also took a bath this past week in 6 persons, so I might be talking a little bit both sides, but I do think the strategy aspect of the 12 mans is like on another level, and then looking back at boards is like super fun.
It is, man. It is. I wish they would get more popular. I understand why the 6-person drafts are king, but there's nothing like the 12 persons, man. This is just where it's at. This is where I want to be. That's part of why I drafted so much. Obviously, the Dawg Bowl is just an incredible experience and something worth chasing, but like it's just so much fun to draft the 12 persons. It's just there's so much more to think about. So yeah, I'm with you.
Unreal, man. Congratulations again, Alec. FantasyGrinder, go check him out on the X machine at Best Ball, Alec. Yeah, man, anything else you want to plug on your way out the door here?
No, I appreciate you guys. Can't wait to see y'all in Kansas City.
Yeah, man, likewise. It's going to be a lot of fun to hang out, talk through some of this stuff, and rip some drafts together. It's going to be a great time. Hopefully those drafts are going to be in the Dawg Bowl.
Hell yeah, man. Good luck to both of you guys. I can't wait to see you at the top.
Sounds great, bro. All right. Thank you, buddy.
Well, I can't mess this one up, dude.
Yeah. We got to figure this one out. There's only one guest left to click.
Gonna accidentally put myself in there or something.
Cody Pollard, baby. Cody Pollard screwing us all for years. What else is new? All right, let's do it, buddy. I'll count it down. 3, 2, 1. Friend of the program.
What's up? Don't call it a comeback. Don't call it a comeback.
I love it, dude. Welcome back. For those who don't remember, ChrisGeeeee, original Dawg Bowl participant, took a year hiatus there, and now he is back. Also, longtime shipcaster, ship chasing meetup member there. And dude, people forget, but I'll be the first to remind them. Gauntlet 1 on the platform champion here, the original playoff best ball winner here. ChrisGeeeee, welcome back, bro.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. I really appreciate it.
Awesome.
I know you're not in the office, so I wish you could show us that gauntlet, because like that is hilarious that they sent that out at that time.
Yeah, my kids play with it all the time. It's so loud and amazing.
It's so loud. That's awesome.
Chris, elaborate for the people what it looks like, what it does, this sort of deal.
So it's a Thanos Infinity Gauntlet from the Marvel movies, and when you just like put your hand in it and you close it, it like makes the sounds of the stones going off, and it is literally like a 10-level decibel. So my wife is like, "What are they doing?" I'm like, "Oh, they're just playing with the gauntlet. You know, the thing I won. It's really cool, right?"
It's so good. Oh man, the original gauntlet. That's sick.
That was so long ago. You had Rob Gronkowski on that team. I mean,
that's right.
That is to tell you how long we've been out here on playing these games is just like, yeah, that makes you feel a little old.
Oh, I feel it. I'll tell you what, working all these nights, like 7 days straight, I'm run down, dude. I'm so run down. Yeah, it's crazy out here in Memphis, but yeah, it's good.
10K in the dog app will help with that sleepiness, I think, though, or maybe it won't. Maybe it just makes you even sleep less. I don't know.
No, it's really good. It gave me a really good perk up for the last night, because I like you guys were like, oh, like I saw Baker the score 13-7 at the first half. I'm like, oh, I'm done. I'm like, I was all in on Baker doubles and like just that game environment, and like Baker's the man. No one wants him because of this bicep thing, and I'm just like, oh, I'll take him. And then I check the app before I have to go into like this giant brief that we all have to do for like an hour or so. And there's terrible cell service reception over there. So like, I'm not getting any notifications, nothing. I'm just resigned to be like, oh, I wasted all my money this week again. And and all of a sudden I get a message from our boy Chad Maskey.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey dude, you got something going on here. And I'm like, what? Then I start seeing the score. It's like 28-35. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, excuse my language. And then so I start checking, and I'm like, I'm driving to the meetup point. I'm going, what? Oh man. And then I'm like, I just got to fade Jamar Chase, which is never a good thing, or Amon Ra. So then I'm like watching the first snap on like the play-by-play, and I saw the safety, and I was like, thank God. I'm like, I think I got it. I got it.
That's good, man. That's sweet. Dude, I mean, how many you've been firing in thus far? I did see you pop on a stream with Neil and Mathology on the channel over there. How many you've been firing each week out here?
I range from 20 to 40. I think I did 26 or 27 this week, and this draft was like early, so it's very good. So I'll wait for you guys to bring it up.
Yeah, I got it for you here. That discounted ownership on Baker. Actually, I was surprised he only came in at 76%. I'm not going to lie. Obviously, people are really scared off of that bicep and Q tag, as you were alluding to there. But yeah, that little Ibuka stack and then the Rachaad White one. This must have been a little bit earlier in the week to get Rachaad White at a more manageable price point with the Q tag coupled with them. That was at pick 57. So very interesting to see the same thesis in both Chad's lineup and yours to get ahead of the potential lead running back being out and drafting the presumed what's the right term here? Volume recipient,
starting running back.
Yeah. I was trying to be like the guy who would like step into it. Yeah, step into the role.
The incumbent.
The contingent player.
There you go.
Yeah.
No, I want to give a shout out to my guys, Nez, Chad, Matt, Dave. We all talk about this way too many times. And also shout out to Mathology. He's super good guy, bouncing ideas off of a lot. Chad was early on Rachaad White, and he got me on that quickly. So just talking to him in our daily conversations. And I really think if you're trying to do this by yourself, it's really hard. So having guys that you can talk to and voice out your opinions and thoughts and bounce stuff off of is really good. And then shout out to our boy Matt with the homecoming game for David Montgomery to get me on that. So because I was, as you can see, I think Dave Montgomery was like pick 40 or something like that. So I got him in the 4th round, and like you couldn't get him in the 4th round like later in the week. He was going to the 2nd or early 3rd. So
our stream draft on Friday, he went at like pick 18 when we were all talking about the sister narrative and the homecoming narrative, that sort of deal.
Yeah, so I just got real lucky because I as you guys know, I really don't like the Seattle offense that much, but 8 running backs went pretty much. So it's like there's no more running backs, So I'm like, let me take a shot at JSN, and I pulled up Ibuka because I'm like, no one wants Ibuka. I'm like, I'm just gonna take him, and then I got lucky with the Jake Ferguson slide, and then like I said, I was just picking up the high octane offense of Detroit with Dave Montgomery. And then I think I took Rachaad White because of Chad. And then I was like, I'll take whatever quarterback comes back. So I was either going to take Dak or Baker. And I think Dak went unstacked or something or with Pickens. Yep. And then I was like, give me Baker with a bicep. I'll take it.
Right on.
He's a dog.
Yeah. Dude, Baker is a dog. Those videos of him yelling at the Seattle fans that are going like viral right now are so dope. Like he's just swearing at them and just screaming at them and like, come at me when you see the score at halftime. Come at me when you see the score at the end of the game. I mean, if you don't like Baker, you don't like football. This guy's fucking sick. He's electric.
Yeah, I love Baker, man. That was a call of mine. Like I was telling Alec, like just that game, Baker, just being a dog, like you guys said, man. Like it just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter what the situation is, man. Baker just gets it done. He's been underrated now for a season and a half. A season and a half he's been underrated. So, yeah, we'll see how long that lasts. I think he's going to be pretty chalky moving forward on any main slate that he's on. But, this was this was just such a sick lineup, man. Every single one of these picks was a smash. So, well done, dude. Well done.
Thank you. Without you guys, being a masterclass person myself, it just helped me get here to this day. I love it. So thank you.
Love that, man. Appreciate it so much. Chris, you gotta tell us, because we both missed it this year. Back in your home state, your original state there, the ship chasing meetup. How was that one this year?
Oh, it was amazing, brother. It was amazing. We had a nice time at the hotel that Charlie set up, line of scrimmage, and we ran around a little bit, and then we went out a lot and drank a lot as per usual, and drafted a bunch of teams. I think all my teams are in the tank except for the Guillotine League.
Okay.
And then we went on my cousin's yacht, and we had a good time on the yacht, and we got to go like on the sandbar and have some beers and just talk football, and it was a good time. Real good time.
Unreal, man. Unreal setup. Yeah, sorry I missed that one. That sounds like a blast, dude.
Well, you know what? We'll get to do it in Kansas City. We'll be living the life over there. So
boys are back.
I'll have to find a place to put a yacht in Kansas City, Missouri. But yeah, it should be a blast.
More like a pontoon boat, right? We'll figure something out.
Let's get a lake of the Ozarks or something.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, that's sick, dude. Yeah, last time we saw each other, we were hanging out at the stadium there. I think that's the last time we hung out. We were at
the Friday night game, right? Yeah.
Yeah, the stadium swim game. Yeah.
Yeah, I went back for opening kickoff this year. It was pretty fun. But it didn't compare to having the whole group there, but it was pretty good. But I think I'm getting old now, you know? I'm like, man, I could go home right now.
That's good shit. Did you play the circus stuff and like the Survivor stuff again this year?
Yeah, I got eliminated this week. Rams pick. I think the only person alive left is Matt's, at least in my crew, Matt's solo team, Wu-Tang Killer Bees. I think he took the Texans today this week, so he looked pretty good there. So
awesome, dude. Yeah, Matt, so fucking sharp, dude. He always has those like sneaky little picks for us. So sharp.
Dude, he's constantly in the Discord, just like telling, hey, dude, just so you know, it's this guy's birthday this week. Like he's hey, this guy's in the hometown of like he's coming back for the first time. And then like another one, what did he give us recently, like right at the end after lock?
Right at the buzzer, he told us that Igbuka's from Tacoma.
Yeah, dude, and he's playing in Seattle. And we're like,
That's
this is
good.
gonna work out good for us, man. So
that's a good
he's
one.
a good dude.
Oh man. All right, Chris. Appreciate you so much, bro. Look forward to hanging out in Kansas City. Have you been to Kansas City before?
Yeah, my brother used to live there for a bit. We'll go to some good spots. We'll get some good barbecue.
Awesome, bro. Yeah, look forward to that. Look forward to hanging out. Congrats on making your way back, dude. Truly one of the best NFL players on the site, bro.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you guys.
See you, Chris. We'll have to get together soon, man.
For sure. Later.
See you, buddy. Awesome stuff, man. Man, we've just Nez, I'm not gonna lie, this is a tribute not to us, but a tribute to the community and the people that hang out here. These winner circles have fucking knocked it out of the park this year because these people are so down to earth, so talented, so fun to hang out with. This community is truly above all, man. It's so cool.
Yeah, it's been just awesome to get to like talk to these people, and then obviously we're going to reconnect in Kansas City, kind of like a nice like way to like, you know, break the ice through these winter circles. But yeah, they've been a hit, man. I love getting to talk with everybody, and man, we've just been busy on these Mondays, man. They're you know, there's not a Monday where we don't have somebody coming on right now, so
right.
Pretty special.
Yeah, for some of the people who you know, found us 3 years ago or whatever, and we just started doing this on a whim because someone we knew won. And then we were like, you know what, maybe I'll make a graphic for it. And then it was kind of like, well, maybe I'll start reaching out to some people just if I could find their screen names on Twitter. And now we have people reaching out to us every Monday like, hey, do you think this is Winner Circle worthy? Do you think this is, you know, like this kind of, man, it's so cool. I love it. I love the community dynamic that this has really introduced. Shout out to all you guys, man. This is great. Let's celebrate in some more of those community endeavors there, Nez, and run down the stuff in which we were tagged in both the Discord and on the X machine there. Give me half a second here. All right, cool. Dude, I want to start with this one. This is awesome. The Hot Sizzos, who we have had the honor of hanging out with at a Dawg Bowl before, and then T-Box here, OG on the platform, randomly linking up in an airport, like the power of community, just recognizing each other out in the wild. Pretty cool.
This is so crazy. Like, I don't know what I would do if I ran into T-Box in the wild. That would just be an incredible moment. This is just too funny, man. This is too funny. So my question is, do you think who recognized who here? Like, because T-Box wasn't at Dawg Bowl, but T-Box has made several appearances. So Hot Sauce knows T-Box, but did T-Box know Hot Sauce? You know, like because Hot Sauce made some appearances on our shows, but like, you know, so I'm curious if he knew him to see him, or if Hot Sauce, like, you know, made the first move. I'm curious.
I'm thinking Hot Sauce made the first move here because T-Box is OG legend in the streets. Not that Hot Sauce isn't on that level yet, but I think T-Box has a very recognizable face out in the wild.
He does. Just
wanted to share that with everyone. I love it so much. Shout out to Cutler for life. Cutler for life here. Smoking Jay Cutler there took down, I believe this was the Engage 8. Yes, the Engage 8 at the $5 price point there. A nice little Rashad White scroll at 21% there with that Dallas to Ferg stack. Dak and Ferg, kind of a staple of what you needed this week. I thought I was going to ship both the DeBomb and the fullback dive at one point with Dak to Ferg stacks after the morning slate when I was leading both there, but wasn't able to hang on, had some decent scores. But that was definitely a staple of some of the smaller field portfolios this week, was definitely Ferg. Dude, shout out to Trent. This is his second win of the Badge Bros Brawl this season. Unbelievable stuff here. This was a Ferg plus Fields, and then you needed Chase, JSN, and Jonathan Taylor all on the same team, which is obviously easy enough, not easy enough, but it obtainable in the 3-person drafts. And then a scroll the F down to Javonte Williams. So shout out to him here.
Yeah, the Badgers Brawl is so tough, man. It's so tough. You really have to like put yourself in just a different state of mind to get to the picks that you need to get to. So yeah, I mean, dude, and 50% win rate too. That's amazing. Crazy, and you gotta love the Davis tag.
Yeah. Gotta tag David. Here we go. He's chiming in. Hot Sauce recognized me. So T-Box recognized him. I was getting a bagel with my wife, and he asked, "Are you Corey?" He's a great dude. Awesome,
Government name. Oh my god. I would have just straight up been like T-Box, like from across the terminal, and get tackled by security.
Sir, are you Corey of the Underdog platform?
Me, Corey?
Yeah, excuse me, sir. Pardon to interrupt you, man. What a good guy, man. Yo, T-Box. Yeah, that's what I would have done. But our guy Hot Sauce has a little more respect than that. True gentleman there. Yeah, Egger's saying the Badge Bros Brawl is up there with the toughest contest on the site to win, like the buzzer beater. It's true, man. It eludes a lot of people out here. It's a tough one. I mean, I don't have my goat horns in the Badge Bros Brawl.
No, it's tough. I mean, I'm still working on it.
Yeah,
we need separate horns for it.
Let's keep rolling here, dude. Let's shout out Big Hiltz here. Takes down a second place in the 2K. He was a purchaser of the master class this week and also hit me up in the DMs to just talk a little bit about some of the contest selection stuff and if anything's changed for me. And he said he was targeting high percentage cash lines in small field contests. So I thought that was a very intelligent initial approach there. So shout out to him for taking down that first 2K bank or first 2K on the site there. He's chasing that elusive bank. Still, shout out to Nate. I saw Nate in the chat earlier there. He had a second place in the Engage 8 and 10th in the Wildcat. That was good for 1,500 and 1,000, I believe. Yeah, 1,500 and 1,000. He had a 15% owned Baker in that one. The Baker to Ibuka, no bring back in the Wildcat. Thought that was quite sharp. Wanted to highlight that. And then the 12% owned Rico as well, quite sharp in the 6 persons.
Yeah, 12% Rico, man, is just That's crazy. He was my highest drafted player in all the 6-person drafts. Thank you. Yes.
Wow,
yes,
dude.
I'll take a bow. Yeah.
That's actually fucking incredible. That's crazy. What was his draft percentage for you?
36%.
Wow, dude. That's very impressive, Nez. That's very
and
impressive.
then JSN right below him. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not here in the winner circle. I don't know why the universe didn't pick me. But
because he didn't pair it with your Sam Darnold conviction, dude.
That's the truth. Truth. Yeah, not nearly enough Sam Darnold for calling that out.
Dude, I thought I was sharp for mixing in a couple and mixing some in the small field. You guys will see when I show my stuff. I pissed down my own leg with 27% of somebody. You're about to find out. But I thought my exposures were really sharp outside of like one play who, I don't know, we could talk about it in a half second. But that's way sharper than anything I did this week, having 36% Rico. Dude, well done.
Well, thanks. I wish it amounted to a little bit more. But dude, 6 rush attempts for your boy. We'll get to him.
There you go. Nathaniel's hanging out in the chat there. Love it so much. We got a Gibson torn ACL in the chat there. I didn't watch any of that game last night because I was so honed in on the Mariners and then I was playing hockey. But yeah, that's crazy. Okay, Nez, let's keep going here. Best Ball Alex team, we already talked through all that there. Obviously, that Rico swap was king in that one. Chad as well. Go check him out on the X Machine. Same with ChrisGeeeee. But I really wanted to shout this one out, man. My leg is shaking. First time ever goat horns on the platform in the primetime Palooza last night. Unbelievable stuff. The Sunday Nighter kind of falls a little bit flat on its face outside of Stephon Diggs, and you needed all of basically Thursday night's game. And my leg is shaking, gets home there for first ever time goat horns. It was actually pretty funny. I looked at my phone at like 1 a.m. my time after I was done playing hockey and writing some stuff here, and I was just hanging out for a half second, and he's retweeted a tweet of mine from like, I don't know, 5 months ago or something, Nez, about the feeling the first time you get your goat horns. And then 2 minutes later, he tags me in this tweet with this picture. So he had that one locked and loaded and was ready to celebrate when he got his goat horns. He was one of the original bookmarks of that one, I imagine.
That's an awesome callback from him. That's terrific. But yeah, you needed 3. Let's see, four pieces from that Rams game.
Yeah, this from April here when you finally earn your Underdog goat horns, and it's like Rory walking up at the Masters,
such a good clip,
crying and stuff. And he retweeted that. I'm gonna recirculate this one in honor of my guy right there.
That's a great clip.
Shout out, my leg is shaking. That's so cool. There. And then Evan has had multiple wins on the platform this year. He takes a second in the mini Royale, which launched on Sunday morning there. Guys, evergreen reminder, we talked about it in the masterclass. I talked about it in the video. If you guys are EV hunting and overlay chasing, that those last contests that are like the last to drop right before lock are the most likely to overlay. So go get those ones there. A Marvin Harrison, scroll the F down at 15% here, goes down at the 1 yard line, or else this could have been a higher score there. But 15% ownership for those 11 points there. And then just kind of smacking all of the good nuts, high scores across the way here. A week where, man, multiple tight ends get home with 2 touchdowns. So you could have had, pick your poison between Ferg and Laporta, Waller, anyone like this. You had the opportunity to get home as long as he didn't play the upper echelons or the guy in which I played.
Yeah. Yep. We'll get to your guy, but yeah, Theo Johnson as well. Could have been in that mix. But yeah, big time week from Laporta here. And Igbuka really the biggest story here.
Yeah. Awesome. Shouts out to the community there. I also wanted to shout out the OG GOAT here. I saw Brad took down one of the playoff slates there, and then I tapped in, I believe it was Saturday's slate here. yeah, Brad, Jay Baconator, and Brad scooping the leaderboard here. Shout out in the baseball streets for Saturday there, Brad, longtime lover of the program and friend of the show. And the same can be said about the GOAT, Sam Olsen here, taking down first and second. We see Chris is up there. Cameron's been around forever. Same with Car Park and Jay Baconator. But the GOAT, Sam Olsen, returns to his rightful place at the top with a double scoop there. Saw him in the Best Buck Classic streets this morning. Guys are absolutely cooking. Baseball is not over, guys. And yeah, some of the usual suspects finding their way to the top there, Nez.
Yeah. Shout out the baseball postseason. It's been thrilling. Your M's get a big dub last night. That was
much needed.
Yeah, I mean that was a tough one against Scooball, pulling that one out.
Yeah, shout out Jorge Polanco for we didn't even know if he was going to be on the team. Signs the 1-year deal. Wasn't a lefty killer of years past, and then all of a sudden this year, he couldn't even swing from the right side in spring training. I don't know if people remember this or know this. He couldn't swing from the right side for like the first bit of the year because of an injury. And then, now he's a lefty killer, and his OPS versus lefties is like 90 points higher, and he takes two off, two over the left field wall against Scooball there. And then Josh Naylor did his best to try and scare the shit out of us and lose that ball game by clanking one off his glove on a routine ground ball that could have been 2 or at least should have been 1. Thank God for Cal Raleigh. Good golly, oh Cal Raleigh is what the Rick Riz says on the radio there, Nez.
That's great.
Nez played okay this week. I felt okay about the way I played. I've kind of faded the middle tier of quarterback there, and the top tier of quarterback, and played a whole bunch of Goff, Fields, Dak, and Sproles only. Played a shit ton of JSN and Jonathan Taylor. But as you guys could see, I fell victim to the Taysom Hill reports. I fell victim to, despite Foster Moreau and Juwan Johnson being active, despite everyone being healthy for them, I fell victim to the swap and getting ahead of the swap of Taysom Hill at 25% drafted, and I had all the 25% drafted. Oh, I guess that is just my draft percentage. 6 rushing attempts for -1 yards yesterday. I don't know, man. I think outside of that, I don't want to be entirely results oriented, but I think this is a spot where I can be a little bit results oriented and be like, he's a 35-year-old dude coming off an ACL with 3 other tight ends active on the roster and everyone else on the buy low model from that team. Maybe we didn't have to jam him this heavily, but not bad.
I don't know. I think the thesis was correct. He got 6 rush attempts. Like, you're not looking for anything receiving from Taysom. He's either rushing at the goal line or he's playing QB. Yeah. And, he played a little bit of QB because he got over the negatives. You just don't see the passing work in the box score there. But like, it doesn't matter if there's tight ends active or not, because that's not really what he's playing. He's just listed as a tight end.
Yeah, that's actually a fair point, dude. Yeah, thank you for making me feel a little bit better about that one. Fell victim to the Trey McGronk, but loved my stance on the 2 wide receivers I chose at the top of the board. Loved my stance on Fields, and then loved playing the shit out of the Miami stuff. Wasn't as sharp as you to just jam the Rico stuff. A little bit of a winning week on the platform for me, but nothing too crazy. Thought I was at one point in time going to take down the DeBomb and the fullback dive, but kind of had just a clunker score in each of those lineups. So they fell off and fell down to 13th and that sort of deal. So nothing crazy to say there. Are we all well and fine and ready to move on to this slate, Nez?
Yeah, let's get into it. This is a pretty fun little primetime palooza here.
Okay, cool. I just want to remind people, Brett Boy is tagging me in the chat here that puck starts tomorrow, and we got daily puck contests up for the 3-gamer, 2K to first in that one. And then we got the best puck classic at about 77% there. So get in there, guys. I will do a little bit of a puck show tomorrow. We got a hard out today after about an hour and a half here. So we're only going to be able to close with football today, but we will cover the puck bros tomorrow in some capacity. I'll either run a solo members only, or I'll run a solo show tonight, something like that. So my puck guys, we will have you covered. But for the remainder of the show, as Nez said, this super fun primetime Palooza slate here. I will jump over to the beautiful Unabated interface and we could talk about them from a bird's eye view. Nez, I've been doing Best Puck Classic and some writing and some stuff like that. I've only been in, I think, 4 drafts now for this one. So just kind of walk me through, where you're at in your process right now as I pull up the Unabated interface.
Yeah, I mean, you've got Phillies, classic. Eagles at Giants for Thursday Night Football. And we've got Chiefs at Jacksonville tonight for Monday Night Football. We've got one team that's way, huge favorites, big time overmatching the other opponent. And then we've got only 3.5 points to the road Chiefs. So pretty interesting spots here for both these teams. A little bit of a higher total in Chiefs and Jags, but Eagles I still think are the leaders in terms of team total on the slate. And Eagles coming off a loss, revenge game. This is like the 3rd revenge game for Saquon against the Giants.
Yep.
All things really trending towards Saquon or bust on this slate. Not to say that you can't win without Saquon because you still got to pair 5 more players. But tell me if this sounds good, John. The Eagles, who just changed their entire offensive philosophy to pass more, lose, now face the Giants, who are the worst rush defense in football. Is that good for Saquon Barkley?
That feels like the ultimate too obvious get right spot for him, and then you layer on that it's a revenge game. You layer on the fact that he has yet to have 100 yards rushing in a game this season. He salvages a couple box scores recently with, falling into the end zone, or last time out, a long receiving touchdown there. But yeah, very interesting philosophy from the Eagles in the second half of that ball game, where they just threw it like 23 times or something crazy in the second half. I maybe even misquoting that number. It might have been more than that. Very interesting stuff there. They're obviously dealing with some injuries on the offensive line there. It was the center, Landon Dickerson, who, kind of maybe that was why they had to be forced to the air, or maybe it was some of the switch ups on the back end there for Fangio that forced the Eagles to, move into a pass heavy script despite the fact that they were leading. But yes, this does feel like the ultimate get right spot. Underdog tweeted it this morning, 5 games last year where Saquon Barkley didn't go for more than 100 rushing yards. Well, he's 5 for 5 this season on not going for 100 rushing yards. So this kind of does feel like the get right spot.
Yeah. This is such a Saquon game. It's crazy. So this is the 101, the only 101 that you can take. I don't know why you would do anything else.
Yeah, I did see him fall to 3 in a room this morning with me and Nick for whatever reason. Maybe people are playing into GA's narrative here of sounds like 3 tush pushes from Hurts to me there. Just kind of an evergreen reminder on these Eagles slates that like Saquon plus Hurts, though there was the receiving touchdown last week, are definitely more negatively correlated than the majority of running back plus wide receiver pairings in the NFL. That being said, if you were ever able to obtain it and put it together on this slate, you just do it. It's not going to be available. It shouldn't be available, and it'll most likely be canceled. But just kind of like an evergreen reminder there that, you could play Hurts naked. You could play him stacked. You could play him whatever on these 2 games. Nez, you talked about some team totals there. I'll walk through the game totals here. 45.5 in the first one, 41.5 in the other one. We did have a little bit of a Slayton injury. He's got a Q tag on the site for the Giants there. I did put Xavier Worthy on the cover because he popped up on the injury report yesterday when people were drafting the Sunday night times Monday night slate in the midday there. He got rolled up on with an ankle or something, and then his ankle was then swelling up. So just layering on to the shoulder stuff. He came back and had a really nice roll first time out. I think it was like 8 catches, a couple rush attempts there. He had 15 fantasy points in his first time back. He almost looked like full go, and he was going at like the 3-4 pick, maybe 4-5 pick in the previous slate. And now he's got a big Q tag on him. but there is a note saying he's expected to play this evening. So just kind of thoughts on the dynamic of some of the Q tags on the slate, in particular Worthy.
Yeah, Worthy's wide receiver 1.
Yeah.
I'm taking him at an absurd rate. It just makes all the sense in the world to be taking him as much as you can, because you can. So yeah, I'm jamming Worthy, man. He's fine. They said his ankle was like swollen.
Yeah.
He didn't injure it or anything. He just came, laying on the plane, and for some reason his ankle was a little swollen. And then it was nice to get that update. The bummer is that like I wasn't taking advantage of the peak FUD and trying to get as many GMs with Worthy as possible. But I'll just instead try to just draft as much Worthy as possible and hope that I get a nice assortment of players around him and have those teams cash and or win the whole damn thing. Who knows?
Love it, dude. You said wide receiver 1 on the slate for you?
Yes.
Wow. Okay. So his ADP right now with the Q tag is currently 8.5. So does that mean you're just kind of like jamming him over? Well, what's the cutoff for you? Is it over Scatterboo? Is it over? Let me just share here.
Yeah, I'm taking him over Scatterboo.
Okay. So, I mean, you could effectively just be doing something like this if you wanted to.
Yeah, I take ETN over him, but yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Another wrinkle to the Scatterboo, aka Scatterboys conversation. I mean, he's a dog out there. Some of these block highlights that he's doing are incredible, but he did have a fumble, and then Tracy did practice last week, then got slapped with the doubtful tag on Friday, and now has a Q tag on our site for Thursday Night Football. We talk all the time about short week workloads on Thursday night for backup running backs. Limited practice today, as Jack is sharing in the chat as well. So keep your eyes out for Tracy. I mean, he's a true, power of the scroll on this slate. He is a beautiful one because he's buried down here at RB8. We'll talk through the more of the dynamics of that in half a second there, Nez, unless you got something pressing.
Nope.
Okay. Back to the game environment stuff, just to discuss. You were talking about individual team totals. I was talking about overarching game totals. Let me just find this real quick. I still got Thursday night from last Thursday up here. Do you have Thursday individual totals?
No, I was just kind of doing the math in my head.
Okay. I was looking for a different resource just to cross-reference, but it's all good. I got 24.5 by way of KC and then 21, which is lining up with the math there for Jags. Yeah. Okay, cool. Anything from a game environment standpoint here, Nez, where you want to like lean into one versus the other? They're both outdoor games. One's on turf, one's on grass. Anything like macro trend wise from either of these games or teams in general that you want to lean into other than the Eagles rushing narrative?
Yeah, I mean the Jags are a pretty legit defense.
Okay.
They're kind of middle of the pack in rush EPA per play, but in terms of drop back EPA allowed, they're second in the league, and
okay.
They're pretty good. They're pretty good. So what I'm anticipating here is like a typical Chiefs style of game where they're just gonna like dink and dunk and try to like piece together long drives as often as they can.
Mm-hmm.
I am definitely buying into the wish casting of Brashard Smith and hoping that they increase his role. He did see his largest workload of the season last week, and that amounted to like 5 touches or something. Nothing crazy. He's clearly the fastest guy in the backfield. Pacheco is, in my opinion, clearly dust. Hunt just kind of like is better than him right now, but Brashard is that difference maker, and they need to figure out how he fits in this offense and give him the reps that he needs. So I've been taking a little bit of Brashard Smith here and thinking that we might get a breakout game from him, but I'm not like fully counting on it. I'm just wish casting it for sure. And then from the Good.
Sorry, I was just gonna do one quick little swing of the Coach Speak Index here with some of the. I did see one earlier. On what Nagy says from Brashard Smith that is leading to more opportunities. He's not making mental mistakes. He's doing what he needs to do. And then you saw a little sprinkle last week when he caught that ball on the sideline and got hit a few times and stayed in bounds and probably got 6 extra yards, blah, blah, blah. That's the physical part that we want to see. Mentally, it's not making the same mistake twice. So I don't know if there's anything really to unpack there, but there was some coach speak from Nagy directly about that 3 days ago.
Yeah, it's always tough because it's like, he's getting asked about these players, so it's not like it's like unprompted. Like, let me tell you guys something about Brashard Smith, man. He needs to play more football. But no, dude, Brashard Smith brings an element to this team that is like game breaking in terms of his speed, and if you can incorporate that well into a Patrick Mahomes offense with the rest of this team, especially when they get full going with Rashee Rice back, he's going to be a problem for sure. So, I'm probably playing it way before it's real, but I have some Brashard Smith. And then just to talk about the Jags side of this game, I think this is going to be an ETN game. I don't really trust Trevor Lawrence. I just really think that he's going to have a lot of trouble, especially with Spags on the other side. Giving him fits, but the Chiefs sneaky vulnerable on the ground. So ETN getting a lot of work, ETN looking solid, Tootin not necessarily challenging him for any touches or anything. So I think this could be a pretty big Travis Etienne game. So I've been taking him a lot. I like his hires in the pick'em lobby as well. We'll see how that goes for me.
Okay, cool. Let's talk about Jags backfield in a half second. I just want to hit on one thing in the chat here because I was doing a little bit of scrolling just for the potential ceiling effect of Tootin, like just as like, he feels like the archetype of a player that like is kind of like Brashard Smith, but maybe like he's obviously smaller than him, but he's obviously like one of those guys who could just like catch a 40-yard dump off and you wouldn't be shocked this evening, like just encapsulating some of that variance. There, I like your stance on ETN just in a vacuum, though. I just want to hit on this real quick because it was one that I was tagged on my personal account, not the Badge Bros account, and just got to give some love here to our guy David, who drops off 5 Badge Bros memberships at the door here. No ChrisGeeeee or FantasyGrinder, but another profitable week. Love to see that. Yeah, he tagged us in another winning lineup from him there. I believe this was the 2-minute drill. The 2-minute drill there, another 4th place finish there with the Bill scroll at 50% owned, even in the late window. He was only 50% owned there. I had a couple Bill shares in the Dawg Bowl that I was feeling giddy about there. But shout out to David for that. Another winning week, and appreciate the membership so much, my friend.
Shout out David, man, just on an absolute tear.
Yeah, big time tear. Some jokes in the chat here about the Achilles monster turf that is in the when you play at MetLife there. I don't think there's any takeaways there. Loser circle. This is my quant loser circle in the future for easydfs.xyz. Go check out my quant, your quant's favorite quant, Easy DFS right there. Nez, before we go into like the position by position, anything else to just say?
No, I mean, I initially gut read of this game was like, man, love the Chiefs side here. Love it. Big fan of the Chiefs right now. 3.5 against the Jags. Like, I'll take it. But like, man, the Jags defense is just like way better than I expected this season. So it's going to be interesting to see how they handle Mahomes and the Chiefs here. But yeah, I think this game, I mean, my new take is like I guess do we play these? The lower on the total points here feels real good.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Yeah, the Jags are interesting, man. Like they've definitely had like, the Bengals put it on them a little bit and they had a back and forth game early, but they held the Panthers to 10. They held the Texans to 10, who just hung like 40 whatever on the banged up Ravens there. And then they had the opportunity to have the Mac Jones Revenge Bowl against the Niners, but he was too banged up to go. So they thrust Brock Purdy back in there early, and they took care of business against the Niners, holding a banged up Niners team to only 21 as well. So, yeah, I mean, outside of that Bengals game where Burrow and him went back and forth in it, like, yeah, it's kind of just been like lower totals in general, especially for the opposition. You might be onto something here with this Jags defense, especially the pass rush.
Yeah, I'm flip-flopping right now in terms of like what I think is going to take place here, but yeah, I'm kind of coming around to this being a tighter game than I initially thought, and I think it might play under that total.
Okay, cool. Nez, let's do a rapid fire of the position by position stuff, and then we will do a draft or two, and then call it a show here because we got to get out of here at some point here. Jalen Hurts and Patrick Mahomes are going back to back in the first round. They're both first round picks, and then Jackson Dart is kind of like the guy you're left with all the time. Not all the time, but the majority of the time. He had a really nice first half to that ball game yesterday, and then they went fumble, interception, and let the chalk redacted defense get home in a big way there in the second half. But yeah, this do you rank it as we see on the site, or do you actually prefer being the team that's left with Jackson Dart with some of that rushing upside?
No, I definitely prefer Dart on this slate for sure. So I don't even have Trevor Lawrence ranked. Okay,
interesting. So you're just trying to be the guy who gets ahead of Dart in like the fourth round or whatever, so that you're not left with Lawrence?
No, not necessarily. You can just like wait and have Dart in the sixth round. Okay. And if I get Lawrence in the sixth round, whatever. But like, yeah, if I don't get Hurts or Mahomes, yeah, I'll just wait for Dart.
Are you prioritizing quarterback in any regard? I know you were prioritizing last time out with like the May Allen stuff.
Yeah.
Is this a slate that you feel similarly to that one or no?
I will say I don't. I have them like ranked at ADP, so like that's pretty high. But like I'm not like trying to like get overweight those quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying? Like if I get more than the field, I do. But I'm at 32% Hurts, 29% Dart, 27% Mahomes.
27% Mahomes. Okay, yeah. I that checks out with a philosophy that I think I would engineer on this slate as well, where I would like kind of prioritize Hurts. I would take Mahomes if he kind of like falls, but I'd prioritize the skill position guys over him. And then I'd be kind of comfortable just being left with Dart. I mean, you know, Bo Nix has looked peaks and valleys of Bo Nix. Let's talk about that. But Bo Nix, you know, still gets, you know, almost 250 and 1 against that secondary last time out. Not a ton of rushing production, but we think we could get some rushing production from, you know, he had 22 yards on the ground. I think if you just play Jackson Dart naked or skinny stacked in the last round, like it sets up like a fine way to play this slate. Yeah, and that has like less to do with like the matchups and stuff like that, and just more to do with like the slate dynamics.
Yeah, it's a good point, which is why I think he's like fine to like wait on.
Yeah, I agree with you there, man. Let's talk about the running back position. You said with a bullet, Saquon at the top there. Travis Etienne is a tier break. We talked about the potential split backfield with Kansas City, and it was Pacheco who had a receiving touchdown last time out, but they've definitely shown a propensity to use Kareem Hunt on third downs and in and around the goal line. So some of that good usage is going Kareem Hunt's way. I'll put some actual numbers to that for you guys in a half second, just so you know I'm not talking out of my ass. Yeah, he's actually red zone opportunities right now pretty similar between the two of them, 7-6. So that's a lot closer than I thought. But like kind of the pass catching and third down stuff has been more of Kareem Hunt.
Yep. Yeah. I don't care for Pacheco at all. So okay. I have no Pacheco and kind of making it my whole thing this slate. Just I'm good.
Okay, so you're playing Kareem Hunt over Pacheco. How are we feeling about the Scata boys after the fumble, after the back-to-back volume games there? I mean, I think he's looked pretty good, but like some of the metrics look like he's just crazy inefficient right now. I like that he kind of does it all. I like that the coaching staff likes him. But with this looming Tyrone Tracy coming back in, the last time we saw them both on the football field together was a Thursday night game in which Tyrone Tracy had 9 of the first 12 running back touches. I think he touched the ball. Yeah, he basically touched the ball 9 times to Scadabo's 2 times, I believe it was, in the first quarter there. Do we expect something so stark to occur if Tracy's healthy, or is this more of a split backfield?
I mean, it's hard to know. I mean, we might not even get Tracy, but I'm fading Scadaboo and taking some Tracy. Tracy was limited in at the end of last week, and this is sort of like a bit of the Xavier Worthy timeline where Worthy kind of like slowly ramped his way up. Similar injuries. Tracy's starting to ramp his way up. It would be pretty soon if he came back, but he's limited again. It's a short week. I'm taking Tracy, and if I have to swap, I'll probably just swap to Singletary.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm playing Tracy because I think he's going to go way underdrafted, and if he is active, I think that he's just like a smash at low ownership if he does end up suiting up. So I'm kind of taking the risk on him.
Okay, sounds good to me, bro. Do you have a lean between Tootin versus Smith? Are you trying to play that Smith play it before we see it kind of thing? Dave had a funny comment in the chat there about like, hey, don't we just deserve to have like a Tootin game because we haven't got the Travion game yet? Doesn't the slappy community just deserve someone to slap this evening?
We do. We do deserve a little treat, do we not?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay. Do you have a preference between them at the backside there? Or is it Tracy above all else?
It's Tracy over both those guys for sure.
Okay.
But yeah, I like playing Brashard, man. I really do.
Okay.
It's just hard to know what the game plan is going to be like.
All right. Yeah, does it set up for more of a 1-1-3-1 style slate there, or a 2 tight end build slate based on, how we feel about running back and only kind of like pounding the table for like 2.5 of them basically?
Yeah, it's like there's a lot of different ways you can play it.
Agonizing decision for Nez here. Which is your favorite?
Between who?
No, just between the builds. Between like the 1-1-3-1s, or is 2 tight end viable, or is it still a 2 running back slate for you?
No, I'm doing a lot of 2 tight end because like people are kind of forcing me to do so.
Okay.
So you just kind of have to play with the way, because like there's a 2 tight end team in every lobby. So you kind of have to play along.
Okay. Sounds good. I think just for like the record there, like the Tracy stuff, if we get the Q tag Tracy and then we don't wind up getting him, I think I would Galbrain swap to like, Will Shipley or something like that, because like, Devin Singletary could fall into the end zone and he's basically only getting like 1 series to himself per game kind of thing. So I think I'd Galbrain swap in that instance, but we can have that conversation on Thursday. Let's talk about the wide receiver position there. You think Worthy's good to go? You like him this evening? You like him as your wide receiver 1? Is there any squeaky wheel narrative for AJ Brown, who had to deal with the Surtain treatment, which allowed Devonta Smith to outscore him this week? Any squeaky wheel for Brian Thomas for the 4th straight week? We're going to get De'Ami Brown back this evening. I don't know, man. Like, there's tons of scrolls available here, but nothing of it feels like super clean or enjoyable to click right now, because we're dealing with a bunch of guys who just like haven't really got home, and everyone on this slate has low-key underperformed. Yeah,
for sure. It doesn't make it feel good to click any of these guys, but I basically have it ranked by ADP, except I've got Brian Thomas over Devontae Smith. But
okay.
It's in terms of wide receiver, Worthy, AJ Brown, BTJ, Devontae, and then a huge gap to wide receiver 5 and 6.
Yeah, sounds good there. This Slayton Q tag is interesting because he didn't show a ton with Russ, but he gets 6 targets there. He actually had it was, I don't know if you classify it as a drop, but he had like a tough play over the middle that would have been like another 15 yards and the ball popped out. And I think it was a fumble thereafter. Yeah. Any love for like anyone else as like a potential replacement if he can't go?
Not from I'm not playing Hyatt.
Okay.
Just kind of liking Wandale when I get him.
Okay. Yeah, so if you're gonna play, they did use a lot of 2 tight end sets. I do think that's interesting to note about the Giants this week. So if you do wind up not getting like Slayton this week, I mean, you guys could see that Neighbors was accounting for 85% of the routes. Then you get Slayton for 89 and Wandale for 82. And then there's a huge drop off here to like Collins and Hyatt and that sort of stuff where we're dealing with like utilization scores of like 4, 1, 1. I guess that's why a lot of people are gravitating to the tight end stuff because they were using, more 2 tight end sets in their first game without Neighbors.
Yeah. Big fan of Theo Johnson's little role there. So let's hope he can just continue to keep running hot at the tight end or at the touchdowns.
Okay. Sounds good there. Nez, let's move over to the tight end position unless we didn't shout anybody else as a scroll. I guess the one really big question I could ask you is, the Kansas City guys, if you're so high on Worthy, does that mean you are down on like Hollywood Brown's ADP, Juju's ADP? We know you're a Taekwon guy through and through. He's got touchdowns in 3 straight. He also has that like take the top off the defense, break the ceiling mold, can do it all on like one play type of vibe. Any interest in that?
Yeah, I like Taekwon. Hollywood is fine. I just prefer to get to these tight ends before I get to Hollywood, just so I'm not shut out and left with Noah Gray.
Okay.
I think Wandale's in line for a huge volume day. Who knows what it'll amount to, but yeah, I think he's far and away the number 1 target in New York right now because with Slayton's Q tag, I'm definitely kind of leaning toward him sitting. So yeah, Wandale I think is a great pick, but he goes like right around where those tight ends go, and I don't like being left with Noah Gray.
Okay, sounds good. Best Ball Alec, remaining goats here, rolling through with 20 Badge Bros memberships, get you access to the No Strip Nez, which was on Saturday instead of Friday. This most recent week there, we will have a members only show at some point throughout this week as well. Most likely tomorrow, but Nez and I have to discuss. Yeah, man, big shouts to you. Appreciate that. Love that so much. Bo Collins was the next guy up here, Tuna saying. He's a rookie, Notre Dame kid. I believe he was undrafted. I don't know what to say other than he could be thrust into opportunity if Slayton sits out on Thursday night. And if those routes tick up, who knows, right? It's not the best spot in the world. We know aspects of Eagle secondary are quite tough, but yeah.
Yeah, who's Bo Collins? I'm good.
That is the ultimate play it before you see it right there. As long as he's not dealing with Quinion Mitchell, although Cortland Sutton did work on Quinion Mitchell this weekend. Let's talk about the tight end position here, Nez. We saw the emergence of Theo Johnson, and we saw that, a narrative that we didn't fully talk about on the show, but we talked about kind of like Theo as a scroll the F down, especially with your stacks. But a narrative in which we haven't talked about before, or we've talked about before, but didn't talk about it last week, is when secondary quarterbacks then move in, or rookie quarterbacks move in tandem with guys they've worked with in the offseason a ton. So there would have been a lot of shared reps between Theo Johnson and Jackson Dart, more so than there would have been Neighbors plus Jackson Dart or Slayton plus Jackson Dart reps. So finding some familiarity with what could presumably be his favorite target was just interesting. Do you rank tight end out as you see it on the screen here, Nez?
I've been flip-flopping Strange and Theo, but yeah.
Okay.
They're all really good options.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. The Strange role has been quite strong, man. He's kind of been the go-to off the waiver wire, break glass in case of emergency tight end that a lot of people are playing in home leagues there, just because the usage looks half decent, and when they're forced into throwing scripts, he hasn't really been coming off the field a ton.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I kind of trust the way that he's being used more than Theo, but
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Anything Galbrain in terms of like scroll the F down and stuff, like Hunter Long has found the end zone twice this season for the Jags. Belly was down at the 1 there he almost got into the end zone. He was down at the 1 there that led to one of the Theo Johnson touchdowns thereafter. Noah Gray, shout out our guy Clay. Like, can you just play it just because he's, a dude that we kind of like, I guess. Anything else to say about the tight end position?
Danny Bellinger is probably my favorite, like tight end 5, I think.
Okay. Yeah. A little bit of an ownership discount on the Noah Gray stuff there too.
Yeah.
A lot more 2 tight end sets this week from the Giants. Maybe that trend continues.
Yeah. I mean, especially with no Slayton, if Slayton doesn't play, that's, I think you can project one more target to Danny Bellinger.
Sounds good. Sounds good there. Matt, Jared Wiley, remember when people were scrolling to him in like early best ball shit because they were like, yo, what if Kelsey retires? And like, this guy's got a good receiving profile. Matt, looking at some of these names, like Kylan Granson, like he was like the 3rd or 4th tight end on the Colts for a bit. And like, everyone was like, oh, he's the best receiving option. And like, he had some usable weeks with like Gardner Minshew a couple years ago. Robert Tonyan, RIP Robert Tonyan, who was like the original Packers. Is this guy going to be Tucker Kraft? Is this guy going to be Luke Musgrave? Robert Tonyan had usable weeks like 4 years ago. This is a wasteland down here. This is fun.
For who?
Just for nostalgia purposes. Johnny Munn, like shout out to our guy Numi, Johnny Munn. He found the end zone at a point or two last season for the Vikings.
Yeah. Be my goddamn guest, man.
Cornet Site YouTube hates him and never is a recipient. Yeah, guys, make sure you enable it. But I know he has enabled it. But just for future reference, guys, if you want to be a recipient of gifted memberships, I did not know this until prior to like a week ago, that you have to enable gifting of memberships there. So we got 20 and 5 there from the good community, David and Alec. Thank you guys.
Yeah, I'm still unsure of how to even do that.
Just there's a YouTube video about how to set up a YouTube video to then, the matrix within the matrix. Someone will teach you on the internet somewhere.
Yeah, this I can't believe you even have to like enable that. Like, who wouldn't want that?
Right. Yeah. All right, Nez, we roll the 102 here. Presumably Saquon Barkley is going to go number 1, but if he doesn't, that's a little bit of a gift to us. Is it Jalen Hurts for you here and you like instantly start building leverage off the Saquon teams, or is this a Travis Etienne spot?
I've been doing Hurts here, but I think Etienne makes sense as a secondary option if you didn't want to do it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, like Jalen Hurts just introduces a nice like cash line floor. The other thing I would say is that a lot of the Jackson Dart teams are on the right-hand side of the board because 2 quarterbacks go in front there. And that what winds up happening with the Jackson Dart teams is you do get them paired with Scata Boys a lot. So yeah, I think there's a little bit of leverage in doing like the ETN at 2 and just seeing what happens and being like, he matches scores with Saquon or he puts up a usable score. Worthy goes at 6 there with Chris. Chris is all over the same narrative as you. Do you just stack up Devonta Smith here, Nez? What do you like to do?
Oh man, this feels like a Scataboo pick.
Okay, sounds good. Play the other side of that game. Take care of that running back slot. He comes to 7 there, which is, in my experience, not incredibly rare, but it's definitely a little bit rarer than the being paired on the corner that always happens.
Yeah, I've been auto drafting a lot of these, so I'm not entirely sure where Scataboo's falling.
Sounds good. Nick saying he's an idiot and just keeps paying for his membership. We appreciate you, Nick. Nick, don't stop.
Oldest one.
Because if the minute you stop, you get removed from the all-time leaderboard. The all-time leaderboard with GA and yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're number one, dude. So you got to keep paying.
Yeah. Nez, do you like to get ahead of tight end with Travis Kelce here after Goddard and Smith go? Or do you like Brian Thomas as like a bit of a tier break to start our wide receiver room?
Brian Thomas.
All right, sounds good to me. Keep buying the talent of Brian Thomas. He also mixes in with the occasional rush attempt as well. Does this set up to you as like a naked Jalen Hurts team? Like I know Dotson had like a nice grab in that game when they started airing it out there, but I don't think there's any reason to scroll all the way down for a stacking partner here.
No, we don't have to force it, especially with Goddard gone. Yeah, I'm not. I mean, I know, like you said, I know he connected with Dotson a couple times, but I don't. Yeah, I'm not scrolling down for that. I don't think.
Yeah, that checks out. Kareem Hunt goes there, so we are left with the Isaiah Pacheco decision, which you are not a fan of, but we can scroll at other positions. We can consider taking one of the two tight ends remaining here.
Yeah, let's see one of these tight ends.
Who do you prefer? We got negative correlation with both of them having Thomas and Scattaboo. Which do you prefer?
Let's do Theo.
All right. Theo it is. We play the Giants on the other side of that game. Hurts is scoring via the tush push. Theo Johnson scores receiving touchdown, and Scatterboys gets all the work. Tracy does not play in this narrative we've created for Thursday night.
I can buy into that.
Okay. One thing we didn't talk about was just kind of like the impact of Ohtani on this slate with De'Ami Brown returning, Parker Washington playing a shit ton of snaps there. Do you want to have Travis Hunter in your life? Do you want to keep buying into the narrative that, you know, he's a talent and could have the breakout game at any moment?
Yeah, well, I mean, De'Ami Brown projects for more receiving yards than him. So, like, what do you do?
Do you like De'Ami Brown over this tier? Do you like doing the double tight end, Brenton Strange?
Brenton Strange is the pick.
Interesting. Okay, so this is what's forcing a lot of double tight end builds here is when like Chris is on this side, doesn't have a tight end spot, and people are doing the double tight end in this regard.
Yeah, ooh, I mean,
Chris taking a quarterback before this guy already has a quarterback. That's a no-no, Chris.
Chris don't give no shits. But yeah, Travis Hunter in the pick'em lobby, 32.5 receiving yards. Okay, that one up. He was at like 27. De'Ami Brown, 28.5. So, okay, that's new.
Okay. So they do have a slightly higher number now. Nez, we've filled our flex because we took a tight end here, which means this last pick has to be wide receiver. We could take a third jag. We could scroll for a stacking partner with like Jawan Dotson or Mechie. We could take the Q tag in Slayton and see what happens.
No, I think I would do De'Ami or Juju.
Let's do Juju then, because we already got two Jags and we already got two Giants. Why can't Juju just be the touchdown scorer on the other side of this game? Tells a little bit cleaner of a story in a hand built.
Yeah, he led the Chiefs in routes run last week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Brenton Strange staring at Nez like the goblin mask. That's so good.
Do it.
Guys, we only got time for one draft right here because we are pushing up against it. We got something else to do. I'm right about this timeline, right, Nez?
Yeah, no, we do gotta hop out.
Okay. Sounds good to me. Let's do one pick'em for the people. I did see you share one on the X machine this morning. I don't think that one is available still there because I tried to play alongside you, and some of those picks were no longer available. But maybe you could share with me and share with the people there what that one was before I build out an unabated or from the heart one here.
Yeah, it was ETN higher, 65.5 rush yards. Brian Thomas lower, 57.5 receiving, and Mahomes higher, 21.5 rush.
Yeah, let's see if we can still get that. Mahomes rushing 21.5 is still there. ETN higher on the 64.5, and then Brian Thomas was a lower on 55.5.
It was 57, but yeah.
Okay, sounds good. And guys, evergreen reminder, it is Boost-ober to go along with Scataboo. Yeah, you guys can go apply that 30%. They are unlimited if you are as dunce cap as me. There's also a 50% one available in the lobbies there for just this evening's ball game. So I'll go ahead and apply that one here, just doing the math in my head that 50 is greater than 30. So I'll go share that one with the people. Nez, I am looking up the unabated stuff on the other side here. Is there anything else that you were liking on your own accord?
Yeah, I was liking Worthy. He's shot up. He's at 57.5 receiving yards now, but I like the touchdown for Worthy and or rush and receiving hires for Worthy, just because you get the rush attempt option. You know, he might get 2 end arounds. He took one for I don't know how many yards, but he ended up with 30 rushing yards. So I just like the out of, you know, helping you get here with the help of an end around.
Okay, cool. And we're not concerned that they'll limit his rushing capabilities because of the ankle or anything like that?
I don't think so. No, he seems fine.
All right, sounds good to me. Let's start with Worthy there. I am firing up the unabated machine, and there is one that is popping in a big way on the unabated machine here, Nez. I am seeing a Parker Washington higher as a absolute, don't call it an L word, but this is kind of like the Alec Isle Manor play from the weekend, which unfortunately didn't get home. Maybe this is old projection based on the fact that De'Ami Brown is active, but Parker Washington showing a 16% edge on this 15.5 here.
Okay.
I think one last fun one to pair with this, Nez, would be playing your favorite Kareem Hunt versus Pacheco. Because you're the Kareem Hunt guy. Or we could play the Smith, play it before you see it, if they even have it for us.
Yeah, I would probably... play a lower on Pacheco if you wanted to do that.
On which number?
I think fantasy points. Fantasy points or scrimmage yards.
Let's do scrimmage yards.
Okay.
Just in case he happens to be the dude who gets left out on the field and falls into the end zone.
Okay.
Let's do that. I like this narrative because I think the workload could go multiple different directions, like starting with Hunt and then starting with, and we don't think he's got that juice to like do crazy breakaway stuff. Yeah. Rush attempts is a good one too from Bry. Rush attempts. Yeah, maybe if I was taking a little more careful look at that.
We finally get Brashard Smith in the pick'em lobby. They were very hesitant to throw him in there.
Okay, let's do some sliding and be like, this is the Brashard Smith breakout game. This is the Tootin has one explosive play game. Let's do like Brashard Smith scrimmage yards, like slide.
Okay.
If he gets 50 scrimmage yards, we get a 2.3x. And then we play Tootin explosive play on the other side. And we go scrimmage yards to like 40 or something.
Yeah, let's do that.
And then you get a 13xer with like the slappy narrative of like, let's slap it up here.
Yeah, I love a slappy slide. Yeah,
that's a fun slappy slide. Tootin gets there on one reception. Brashard Smith plays, 45% of snaps somehow this week, and we push it up.
That's fun.
Kyle's saying that Tootin 60 yards was plus 2,400 somewhere else, and now it's moved down to like 12. It's like halved itself on some of the redacteds.
Yeah, that's nice.
Jets is asking, do they do fantasy points for college football? I don't believe so because of legality things, but I don't actually know so.
Yeah, I don't know for certain.
Yeah, there's weird legality stuff with state by state. So you might not see it, but other people could see it with college football in particular. I just know that. I don't know if it's like a yes or no. Oh, okay. Swish is saying they do. Eggers is saying they do. It might just be a location-based thing.
Good to know. Okay.
I don't know how I'm feeling about this slappy slide situation, but I appreciate you guys. Speaking of appreciation, guys, we got to tie a bow on it there. We are 10 minutes late. This is my apologies to the great Pete Overzet. I talk too much. All right. Let's tie a bow on it, man. Shout out to Chad. Shout out to Chad Candles. Let's be specific here because there's lots of Chads in the community there. Actually, we have a community full of Chads there, Nez, if you catch my drift. Shout out to Chad Candles who jumped on the program. Check out at Chad Candles on the YouTube machine. He is streaming some of his stuff out there. Shout out to ChrisGeeeee, recurring guest on the program, though Nez forgot he was a recurring guest on the program. The original Gauntlet champion, and then the most recent recurring guest there in the Fantasy Grinder there, Best Ball Alec. Also, shout out to David for 5 Badge Bros memberships, and shout out to the aforementioned Best Ball Alec for 20 Badge Bros memberships. Nez and I are going to talk here, but I think my inclination is to do a show slightly earlier tomorrow for everybody, Best Puck Classic and the Puck Slate, and maybe Nez fires up the model, or maybe Nez rides off in the sunset and takes the day off because it's a puck feature. That will be up to him. We will discuss behind closed doors, but there will definitely be some puck adjacent content for you guys coming soon. I will watch the fill rates of the Best Puck Classic too, so maybe that'll fire up a little bit earlier and or be a pre-record if necessary, but I do want to get some more puck in for the people. All right, too many words. Best of luck in the Sunday times Monday and Monday times Thursday contest this evening. There is still playoff baseball, so get in there for the playoff baseball streets there. We will talk about some more of that in the upcoming days. Everybody's favorite time of the show, the end. Peace. Fuck Tony Pollard.